Trust is more than just a buzzword. In today's marketing landscape, investing in trust can drive revenue growth. In 2024, Trustpilot commissioned Forrester Consulting, a leading independent research consultancy, to conduct a total economic impact study examining the benefits of using the Trustpilot review platform. Their findings show that interviewed customers who are using Trustpilot to manage their brand reputation achieved an ROI of over 400%. To find out how Trustpilot benefits businesses, visit business.trustpilot.com/calculate ROI.
Hi, I'm John Dioso, editor of Ad Age Studio 30. Welcome to a special edition of the Marketer's Brief podcast. In this episode of Marketer's Brief, we're going to dive into the critical role trust plays in growing successful brands with Allyse Slocum, Vice President of Product and Audience Marketing at Trustpilot. Now, here's my conversation with Allyse. Hi, Allyse. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, so for our listeners who may not know Trustpilot, can you tell us a little bit about the company, where it started, and how it approaches bridging the trust gap between brands and consumers?
Absolutely. Trustpilot started in 2007 with a very simple but powerful mission. That was to be the universal symbol of trust. And I think that mission is now more important than ever. We are helping consumers and businesses more closely work together through reviews and feedback. So for consumers, we are a source for them throughout the buyer's journey to make the right choice, knowing who to buy from. And that is because we have millions of reviews on our platform across a number of industries. They can then also share that feedback, which helps other potential customers and shoppers make the right choice as well. And for businesses, they are then able to take that feedback and leverage it to build even more trust in their brand, grow their business by leveraging those reviews, and improving their business with the insights that customer feedback provides.
And, as we've seen the consumer landscape and the shopping landscape in particular really just evolve incredibly quickly over the past several years, how has Trustpilot's approach to trust shifted, during that time?
Yeah, it's a great question. I would say our approach has always remained, like the foundation of our approach has always remained the same. What we have noticed is, especially over the past 5 years and accelerated through the pandemic, is things are starting online. Searches are starting online all of the time now. And it's not just for simple purchases like soap or shampoos or, just clothing retail. There is also a large trend of making some pretty high stakes investment decisions that also start online. People are no longer going into town, and the first stop is not going to be their local bank. They are starting a search for a mortgage or a loan online as well. And Trustpilot's stance on that is it matters more than ever what you read online, how businesses show up online. And we have always stood true to our stance on making sure that every single review is filtered so that we can see that they're genuine. We go above and beyond in ensuring that both businesses and consumers feel that they can trust the feedback that is left on the Trustpilot platform. And I would say the only way that has shifted is in increasing, and as technology changes, as things evolve, being able to leverage that technology to further that trust.
No, but trust, and let's get into trust a little bit. Trust itself can sometimes feel like a nebulous concept, especially in a brand marketing context. How does Trustpilot help companies measure trust in a tangible way? And what are the key signals that indicate strong consumer trust?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. I, for one, when I started at Trustpilot, felt very much this feeling that I couldn't quite wrap my head around trust being anything else besides this must have. And yet, when you asked me to try to measure what that meant, it was always difficult for me to wrap my head around. And I think that's true for a lot of businesses as well. They know that they need to build trust, but there's this tension of not necessarily knowing A, how to do it, and then B, being able to connect that to actual business growth. When you ask many business owners if they can articulate how trust has impacted performance in the same way that other brand metrics or marketing data would suggest, it doesn't come as naturally to them. But what we have found at Trustpilot is that there is really a quantifiable way to use trust as a growth lever for your business. And there are many different trust signals out there. We are certainly not the only one. You have, for instance, internal signals that serve more as a barometer of health for a brand. So think of NPS or CSAT. And then there are outward facing signals like customer testimonials. What's unique with Trustpilot is that we cover both of those. We have the external, of course, you're collecting feedback from your customers, and you are also being able to leverage the reviews that you're getting in your marketing materials, across your website so that you can drive growth that way. And what's more is with all of the insights that customer feedback provides, we also offer tools that allow businesses to also look at it from an internal health perspective. What are their customers saying? What are the key themes so that they can take this feedback and really action it for their business strategy and really pinpoint where they have opportunity to do more to grow, what's working well, and they want to double down. And I think that's very unique in what we offer. And I would say our main trust signal, where it all starts, is with our trust score. And that is our measurement, more or less, of a star rating. So we have seen direct correlation between the trust score and an increase in purchase conversion.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break for a word from our sponsor.
Did you know that improving trust and reputation with Trustpilot can have tangible business benefits? With Trustpilot, interviewed customers experience benefits of $1.2 million over 3 years. This is what Forrester Consulting has discovered in the 2024 commissioned Total Economic Impact Study of using the Trustpilot review platform. To find out how Trustpilot drove growth for its customers, visit business.trustpilot.com/calculate ROI.
And we're back. Now, Allyse, according to your research, there's a direct correlation between a company's trust score and business outcomes like increased conversion rates. Can you elaborate on how businesses can use their trust scores to enhance their marketing effectiveness and overall business performance?
Absolutely. And it really all starts with increasing that trust score. Our data suggests that, let's taking a step back, let's say that you're a business and you are facing down a 3.1 star rating. It's not horrible. It's, not amazing either. It's middle of the road. But for businesses, that can feel very insurmountable. How do you grow that quickly? But what's fascinating at Trustpilot is that our data has shown that it's not simply getting to a 4-star rating that drives this increase in purchase conversion, but actually a little bit goes a long way. What we have found is that even a 0.2 increase in that trust score has a 50% average increase in purchase conversion. And then I think where the real growth then happens is once you do hit that 4 to 5-star rating, businesses on aggregate at Trustpilot see a 9-fold increase in their purchase conversion. Taking a step back, you kind of wonder, that's great, but then what are those things that I can do to improve that trust score? And I think that is where we really come in to help. And what people sometimes get, or businesses rather, get surprised by is that our tools and our encouragement is always to invite every single customer to review. And that feels daunting at times because nobody's perfect, no business is perfect, and you're always going to have somebody who has not had the greatest experience with your business, or whether that's your customer service, the shipping time. But when you invite everyone to a review, especially when you automate those invitations triggered at key moments in that purchase journey, you have a far better chance of getting more review volume because you're inviting everybody. And you're also getting those customers who maybe didn't think about leaving a review until you gave them that nudge. So it really, when you're inviting all of your customers, it's preventing this, what we call cherry picking, so that you're not seen as only inviting those who you feel have had a good experience. The reviews that are automatically collected, they're verified, and that actually verified reviews qualify for Google store ratings, and that has a direct impact on performance. At Trustpilot, we have seen that businesses that are using verified reviews see a positive increase in on-site conversion rates to their website, which is great. But I think what's more too is it's the insights you get when you're asking everybody. You're getting deeper into what is resonating with customers, what is their sentiment of your business, which becomes so powerful when you then start to glean insights from reviews. So I think that high volume is a huge piece to it too. And not only that, but we have also then seen in multiple reports that we've done, once you've gotten that star rating that you want and you start leveraging that content, those trust signals in your other marketing investments, it actually makes them work harder for you. We've seen in a Kantar study that we did earlier this year that when you include trust signals like the Trustpilot logo, verbatim review content, or your star rating, you actually drive, I think the numbers were, I think brand affinity increased by 8 percentage points, and the likelihood of a consumer to endorse a brand also increased 8 percentage points as a result of including those trust signals in a TV ad. And what's more is that we're starting to dig deeper into not just including trust signals, but when is the best time and place. So one additional, or actually two additional insights we got from that study was it also matters when during that TV ad you include trust signals has actually an impact on conversion or those performance metrics. So we know that during the most emotive, engaging part of that TV ad is the best time to include a trust signal. And that kind of strength in numbers mentality comes into place again. So hence why I was saying how important it is to collect a high volume of reviews that actually carries a lot of weight with consumers, and they are far more likely to have confidence in that brand when they're looking at possibly an imperfect star rating, but knowing that it's based off of hundreds or thousands of reviews, they're far more likely to trust that than if you say have a 5-star rating, but only 5 reviews to account for. So there's that. And that is also, these trust signals are true for the digital ads across the space. I mean, ads are everywhere now across social, online. And when businesses are really wondering, how do they cut through the noise? Again, that's where these trust signals come in. Another study that we did we did various markets over the course of 18 months, and each one of them had the same trend. When you're including verbatim review content, when you're including your star rating, volume of reviews, it can really drive performance. It drives online conversion and it drives consumer confidence. And those are really tangible things that businesses can look at to see how Trustpilot, or how just even building trust and that reputation can directly impact performance.
All right, great. Well, thank you for clarifying that. And unfortunately, we're out of time. Allyse, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Well, that was Allyse Slocum, Vice President of Product and Audience Marketing at Trustpilot, and I'm John Dioso, Editor of Ad Age Studio 30. I'd like to thank our producer, Lauren Giardio, and invite you to subscribe to the Marketer's Brief podcast on your favorite player. We promise to keep it brief, or at least short enough for your morning coffee. Thank you for joining us.
Marketer's Brief listeners get $40 off an adage.com subscription. Sharpen your marketing edge and visit adage.com/brief for your discount.